Baby, how can it be? Baby, how can it be? I could never believe that you belong to me. Babe, I'm doubtful in mind. Yes, I'm doubtful in mind. I can't believe you're a sign just to be all mine. Now listen, baby, I tell you what I'll do. Buy you graphonola and a radio too. I'll keep you happy, keep you always in mind. If you will come and just be mine. Baby, how can it be? Baby, how can it be? I could never believe that you belong to me. Go on, Billy. Baby, how can it be? Baby, how can it be? I could never believe that you belong to me. Yes, I'm doubtful in mind. Yes, I'm doubtful in mind. I can't believe you're a sign just to be all mine. Now listen, baby, my love is like a love vine, growing and squeezing all of the time. I'll keep you happy, keep you always in mind. If you will come and just be mine. Baby, how can it be? Baby, how can it be? I could never believe that you belong to me. No, I could never believe that you belong to me.
Most Inland Empire rock fans know that the Rolling Stones played their first U.S. concert in San Bernardino, California, at the Swing Auditorium on June 5, 1964. But not everyone knows the tale behind the tale. The entire June 1964 itinerary of the Rolling Stones' first U.S. tour was fairly short. In 16 days, the band crisscrossed America, playing 12 shows from California to New York and points in between. Of course, the first show took place in the Inland Empire. How the Stones ended up playing in San Bernardino depends on who you talk to. Both promoter Bob Lewis and KMEN disc jockey Bill Watson have their own versions of how the concert came to be. Bob Lewis was a promoter of Swing Auditorium, roller games, closed-circuit TV boxing matches, etc. Lewis says he was approached by two investors who wanted to finance an appearance by the Beatles at the Swing. But by then, the Beatles were already too big to play the venue, so Lewis was turned down by the Fab Four's U.S. booking agents. But another booking agent heard that Lewis was looking for a British band and offered him the then-unknown Rolling Stones. Lewis called San Bernardino radio station KMEN looking for a local media sponsorship and to ask if the group was worth booking. The station had recently begun playing their music, and Lewis was told that the band was really hot. So Lewis set the wheels in motion to bring the band to San Bernardino. But KMEN DJ Bill Watson had another version of the story. According to him, the station had been playing the music of the Stones after being tipped off by an English girl that was now living in the IE. Her name was Wendy Nicholas. She predicted that the band was sure to be the next big thing. She was a fan of KMEN and provided the station with a few of her English Stones singles and an album not yet released in the U.S. The early airplay of Stones music on KMEN built up an audience for them in the IE. According to Watson, he contacted promoter Lewis, and the process began of booking the Stones' appearance at the Swing Auditorium. Meanwhile, local newspapers began prepping the IE for the invasion of the Stones, with the warning, "Brace yourselves." In the days following the concert, reaction to the Rolling Stones' appearance came swiftly from the local press. San Bernardino Sun reporter Ronald Plotkin wrote, 3,500 hysterical teenagers stood throughout the entire show on chairs meant for sitting. I was there, and my eardrums are still ringing. It's a good thing the riot squad was there, but the fans might have hurt themselves had the helmeted deputies not been there. Even with the riot squad surrounding the stage, hysterical girls broke through the lines 4 separate times to hug and kiss the performing Stones. In each case, they were half carried, half dragged off. After the concert, a crowd of about 2,000 surrounded the Stones bus, parked at the stage door. The sheriff's office, anticipating what was to follow, had taken the precaution of barricading the area with wooden horses. KMEN DJ Brian Lord gave this backstage account of the Swing Auditorium concert. In his blog, Lord wrote, "The Swing Auditorium was packed. Bill Watson emceed the show, and for a while it was bedlam. The audience threw jelly beans on the stage, also panties, chocolate bars, and balled-up notes proclaiming love. It was vicious in the early going, but the police came on stage and took charge, calming down the frenzy. The KMEN DJs assisted by tackling crazed girls who had clambered onto the stage and were making a beeline for Jagger. We carried them to the back door and sent them packing. It wasn't easy. I got a wicked scratch on my neck. To their credit, the Rolling Stones at no time stopped playing." In Part 2, there will be a song-by-song analysis of the concert and eyewitness reports by audience members. Part 2 of the Rolling Stones Play the Swing Auditorium continues our look at their first U.S. concert, which took place in the Inland Empire. At the Swing Auditorium, the Rolling Stones performed the same songs that they were to play at all stops of their first U.S. tour. So for their 20-minute American debut at the Swing Auditorium, they played 11 tunes, 10 of which were covers and only one was an original. The Stones opened the historic concert with a Buddy Holly song, Not Fade Away. It was their first U.S. single release. Holly recorded the 1957 song with his group The Crickets. They followed with a 1961 Chuck Berry tune, I'm Talking About You. Berry, of course, was a major influence on the Stones. The third song performed was I Wanna Be Your Man, written for the Stones by John Lennon and Paul McCartney of the Beatles. Next was High Heel Sneakers, originally written and performed by Tommy Tucker in 1963. When Route 66 was performed, pandemonium broke out in the Swing Auditorium. Two Inland Empire cities, Barstow and San Bernardino, were name-checked in the song. The tune was composed by Bobby Troup and first recorded in 1946 by Nat King Cole. Walking the Dog followed. It was written and originally recorded in 1963 by Rufus Thomas out of Memphis, Tennessee. Tell Me was the only song performed that night composed by the Stones' writing team of Mick Jagger and Keith Richards. Next came Beautiful Delilah. It was the second song written and recorded by Chuck Berry that the Stones performed that night. Berry released the song in 1958. The Stones dipped into Motown's catalog when they performed Can I Get a Witness? This tune was composed by Motown staff writers Holland Dozier Holland and originally recorded by Marvin Gaye in 1963. The Stones went deep into their blues roots when they performed I Just Want to Make Love to You, composed by bassist Willie Dixon and originally recorded by Muddy Waters in 1954. The Stones closed the show with a 1963 Bo Diddley tune, I'm All Right, then beat a hasty retreat to a bus waiting for them at the rear of the Swing Auditorium. In 1964, Laurie Summers and Ann Curtin were first-year Colton High School students. Laurie gives this eyewitness account of the Swing Auditorium show. On the evening of Friday, June 5, 1964, my close friend Ann Curtin and I headed out for one of our first rock concerts. This was the much-anticipated first concert of the Rolling Stones. KMEN, a local radio station, had been promoting this for weeks, and of course, we had bought our tickets when they first became available. Since the arrival of the Beatles on U.S. soil earlier that year, we had become huge fans of everything British. We weren't going to miss this. This was a very exciting event for two intrepid 15-year-olds. We arrived at the Swing Auditorium about 3 hours before the concert began. There was already a small crowd waiting, but we edged our way as close to the door as possible. When the doors opened, we ran as fast as we could to the stage. The night did not disappoint. When the Stones finally took the stage, it was all screams. We knew the lyrics to all their songs and were absolutely amazed at the fact that we were actually seeing and listening to them in person. There was Mick, dancing like we had never known was possible. Brian Jones played his guitar and sang with his blonde hair swaying to the rhythm. Keith Richards was the perfect sideman for Mick. Bill Wyman played his bass with such a quiet demeanor, and Charlie Watts kept them all together with his solid beat. When they broke into their version of Get Your Kicks on Route 66, the crowd went wild, especially when they got to the line, San Bernardino. The auditorium exploded. It was a night to remember. We talked about it for weeks, and when we heard later that year that they would be back, we knew we would too. Laurie's friend Ann Curtin had this to say about the experience. Laurie Summers Gastineau and I attended the first Rolling Stones concert at the Swing, got up early and took the bus, and I believe we had 2 transfers to reach the Swing Auditorium. We were at the front of the huge line waiting all day. So worth it. What a terrific experience. Yep, we had some sore throats from all the screaming, but a memory to last all our lives. A great concert. Decades later, Rolling Stones fans Laurie Summers Gastineau and Ann Curtin Steele remain good friends and still live in the Inland Empire. Part 3 of the Rolling Stones play The Swing Auditorium will feature more photos from the concert and recollections from the local press, audience members, and even the Rolling Stones themselves.
This is Shane McCrae reading In the Event of. Officer, how you know I'm dancing is the body cam. Look, I'm writing centuries of whips. The first half of the ghost, arms out the window up. The second half, arms flat on the pavement, palms down. Now the ghost is whole. My arms stretched forward like I'm bowing, but if I were standing, stretched above my head. Officer, how you know I'm dead is that I seem to bow to you. About this poem. I wrote this poem in protest against the almost continuous killing of black people by the state and its agents, and as an explanation of a gesture such agents might mistakenly think they recognize.
Just because I know I bore my bridges before I go, it doesn't mean I'm unsatisfied. Just because you see this emptiness inside me, it doesn't mean I'm as deep as that implies. All you desire is what I wanna find. All my endless waiting was worthwhile. All you require is all I feel inside. Finding hope where the fear subsides. And God, you are so beautiful. Just because you say you wanna be there till I pass away, doesn't mean you won't grow tired of my earnest style, but I will be there always to remind I'm so much more than satisfied. All you desire is all I wanna find. All my endless waiting was worthwhile. All you require is all I feel inside. Finding hope where the fear subsides. God, you are so beautiful. God, you are so beautiful.
If you were with us for the Eyelids Victor Kronenker's Flying Circus show, you would know that Lo-Fi Studio is also a performance place. And every Christmas, we have a charity event, a rock Christmas show with multiple bands, and all you have to do is bring a can of food. You bring a can of food and you get tickets, and from those tickets you get some swag from the band and a wonderful raffle. But the bands are great, and we all play some Christmas music, and it's great fun. And last year we were able to donate 400 pounds of canned goods to a local women's shelter. So it's a good charity event. It's December 4th, Saturday. It's open up right around 6 o'clock, and we go on and on. But you got the Dangers, you got Bob and Lisa, have Squeaking Wheels, a really cool kind of folky group, and even a guy playing a dulcimer. So come on down to the Lo-Fi Lounge December 4th and bring a can of food.
One step for boys, yeah, one step for girls. You step away. One step for you, yeah, one step for me. You step away. But don't take the third step, 'cause that's just a sad lover's waltz. Don't take the third step, 'cause that's just a sad lover's waltz. One step for anger, yeah, one step for pain. You step away. One step for right, yeah, one step for wrong. You step away. Won't take the third step, 'cause that's just a sad lover's waltz. Don't take the third step, 'cause that's just a sad lover's waltz. One step for you, yeah, one step for me. You step away. One more step makes three, and three steps a waltz. Don't take the third step, 'cause that's just a sad lover's waltz.
Hey folks, thanks for hanging out at the Lo-Fi Lounge. We'll see you all next week. Wait, we got one more thing.